Let's have a look at the items and powers that are available for Cassidy in Overwatch 2 Stadium. In this series of videos, I'm highlighting some heroes and having a look at their powers and the unique items in Overwatch 2 Stadium. Today we're having a look at Cassidy. Okay, here we are in the Stadium practice range on the previous server, and we're going to have a look at Cassidy. Now, I've explained in previous videos how this all kind of works, which ones are free, which one you need to buy. So if you're not up to date on that, go check out my previous videos. I explained it in quite a few of them. There's also these example builds that we're not going to look at. We are just going to dive into the items and the powers without the example builds. Now, when it comes to the weapons, there are two items, hero items at least, that we need to take a look at. And the first one is a quick chamber, 20% reload speed, which is always handy with Cassidy. Reloading within 6 meters of an enemy adds 20% of the max ammo as extra ammo. This is one we need to remember, but let me show you. I'm at 2 bullets right now. If I reload in the vicinity, we actually get 7 bullets, which is starting to look nice, but it gets better in a minute. Another one in the weapon category is actually an epic one. Competitive analysis. 20% weapon lifesteal and deals 50% increased primary fire damage to enemies in the damage roll. So basically any DPS you'll do more damage on. That's kind of hard to show you guys, but I think we all get the gist of it. If we go to the abilities tab, there's actually 3 items that we need to take a look at that are specific for Cassidy. There's the Black Wedge stack, 10% ability power, Deadeye eliminations reduce flashbang's max cooldown by 10% up to 40 for the round. So that is for the whole round. Your flashbang will be on a lower cooldown if you get eliminations with your Deadeye, which we're going to give a try. Alright, the normal cooldown for flashbang is 12 seconds. Now we're going to equip the item to get ourselves all these guys. It's time. And now the flashbang dropped to 10 seconds. But that means if you get another Deadeye within the round, it'll drop back to 8 seconds. And then it gets interesting. The next one is Streamlined Poncho. Okay. 10% cooldown reduction. And the combat roll reduces flashbang cooldown by 2 seconds. Wait, what? Alright, let's just equip this one first. So, normal cooldown 12 seconds. Now you can do it while the cooldown is going on, but if we wait, our next flashbang is going to be, well, 10-11 seconds. The thing is, of course, if we combine those two, the one that we did earlier, let's say you flashbang, you roll, 4 seconds later you're going to have it again. I mean, now you're kind of cooking with flashbang. But we're not done just yet. There's an epic one called Improvised Dynamite. It gives you 20% ability power and 10% cooldown reduction. Because it's an epic one, you get to. But it also had this one. Flashbang with explosion radius is increased by 50%. So what that actually means is that you can flashbang 2 people at the same time. Alright, let's go to survival. There's 3 items in this category. The Wonder Poster, 25 health, Deadeye eliminations, reward extra 500 stadium cash each. Yeah, like I've said many times before in my videos, cash is key. If you want to win a stadium, you need as much cash, especially in those first rounds. This is going to help you. And the fun thing is, it is an item, you can sell it. Once you don't need that kind of bulk on cash, you're kind of set when it comes to your powers and whatnot. You can switch it out. The other one is called Frankie's Fixer. 50 health, heal 10 life for each ammo loaded using combat roll. Let me show you that one. So we currently are at 1 bullet. We're going to take some damage. This friendly bot is shooting us. Then we do a roll, and there we go. We took a little health. It helped to keep us alive. That's nice, right? Not bad. It gets better once we use the powers, but give me a second. Then the next one is called Eagle Eye. 50 health, take 25% less damage from enemies further than 12 meters away. So this is around the 20 meter mark. As you can see, with every shot, they take about 1 block away. See that? Now if you get closer in, they actually go over 1 block. So that is the 25%. Could help. But that were all of the items. Next up, the powers. The first one is called Bullseye. Critical hit reduces combat rolls cooldown by 2%. In other words, anytime you get a critical hit, you'll see your combat roll kind of go off cooldown almost instantly. Which makes you a rolling killing machine. The second one is called Dead Man Walking. Eliminating an enemy you've recently critically hit grants 1 max ammo for the round. That's right. For every enemy you hit critically and afterwards kill, you'll get 1 max ammo that will remain for the rest of the round. Let me show you. We're at 8. Yeah, we're still going. 14. We're 20. 24. And 26. This is as far as it goes. It's not in the description, but 26 is the max, at least, you can get with this ability. Now, you might wonder, like, okay, what is that good for? Well, you don't need to reload as often. You can just keep shooting. That's not the best part. The best part is this. And the hammer.
Double kill.
Almost missed him. But basically, you get a huge Thunder Hammer. Remember this one where you reload within 6 meters of an enemy? It adds 20% of the max ammo as extra ammo? Yeah, let's give that a try, shall we? We got 31 bullets, guys. Oh god. I mean, this is just a start. I think you can sense that there's a lot of options here that you can kind of throw together and make a Cassidy that is just a monster. For instance, if you get the Frankie's Fixer on top of that, which heals you for 10 life for every piece of ammo that you reload, you'll basically have an instant heal. And that is on your combat roll, but you can also lower the cooldown of your combat roll. So yeah, you're basically invincible and deadly. Like a machine gun that cannot be killed. But anyways, let's continue. Full House. For each ammo available, Peacekeeper's primary fire gains 1% increased damage, up to 25. Now look, you can use this in the normal way with your 6 bullets and get a decent amount of damage out. But if you combine it with the others, where at some point you have 26 bullets in your clip, that is going to get you to that cap of 25%, which is substantial. Quick Draw. After using combat roll, Peacekeeper's next primary fire can auto-aim within 9 meters while under the cooldown. In other words, as long as your cooldown for run is going, you're going to see this little symbol on top of your targets within 9 meters, which is just an auto-aim shot. Pretty simple. I mean, it looks nice, but I don't know if that is going to be super useful. Next up is Think Flashed. When you start the combat roll, leave a flashbang behind. See what I mean? Just combining these. So you need to be on top of them when you start rolling, and that will flashbang them. But again, stacking with the others, there's options. Barrel roll. Combat roll takes you 50% further and deals 65 damage to enemies. Let's see if we can kill this guy with that. Actually, he got pushed. Next up, just roll with it. There's a lot of rolling going on. During combat roll, prevent all incoming damage. After combat roll ends, heal 30% of your life for 3 seconds. We're going to have these guys shoot us again, but... there we go. If you stack that with Frankie's Fixer, where you also kind of use the reload. In other words, if you're going to be on 1 bullet while rolling and taking a lot of damage, that heal is going to be pretty big. It might actually be a little too much. I don't think it's going to be useful anymore at that point. Next up, Flash in the Pan. Eliminating an enemy recently damaged by flashbang grants 15% alt charge. Let's give this a try. Flashbang this guy. And we got 15%. But that kind of does mean that you're always 4 flashbangs away from getting your ultimate. And you can lower the cooldown on that flashbang, remember, to 6 seconds, 4 seconds? You can get your ult in 20 seconds max. If there's enough targets, that is. Hot Potato. Flashbang adds 3 extra ammo on hit until Peacekeeper is reloaded. Oh god. We were at 31. We can get to 34 in theory. Keep counting, guys. I found the hammer is never going to add, but let me just show you that without all of the craziness. We're at 6 ammo, flashbang this guy, we're at 9. And then if we drop below 5 and reload, it is going to jump up to 6. Easy Rider, while using Deadeye, gain 100 overhealth and 25% move speed. Comes in handy. So we're at 275, we go up to 375, and we can move a little faster. Dodge anything that they throw at us. Yeah, we kind of need it in some levels. Be a little more sturdy and a little more mobile during our ult, because we do draw attention. The next one, Sunrise. Using Deadeye slows all visible enemies by 35% for 1.5 seconds. That is interesting. That's going to be annoying for some people. And let's see. There they go. And the last one, Sunset. Deadeye eliminations grant 15% ultimate charge each. So basically, when you use a Deadeye and you get 4 kills, you're going to be close to getting your next one. So basically, I'm ulting these 2 guys. Got 2 of them. Bam, we're back at 30% immediately. That's not bad. I think there are some really good combinations in there. Something to discuss in a future video. And that was all for Cassidy. Tell me, what combo of powers would you use? Let me know in the comments. For now, however, that was it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It always helps me out. I also want to thank my patrons and YouTube members. You too can become a member over on patreon.com/theomnicpost and right here on YouTube to unlock exclusive rewards. If you have a few minutes left, maybe check out one of my other videos. But above all, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.